Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back to Members Club. We missed you over the last couple of weeks. Charlie, I missed you. It's good to see you.
I missed you and your international travels, but now we're both back stateside. Well, I've been here, but you're back. You are in Florida. I am in New York. And it is time to resume.
And Trump is alive.
He's alive.
In the weirdest non-breaking news that we could have for the week. Do you know when did you find out that there were rumors that Trump was dead? How did you find out?
Honestly, I didn't even know that he was dead till he was reported to be alive again. He was like, wait a second, he's not dead. I was like, oh, wait, I didn't even realize we thought he was dead. I don't know why we would assume such a thing just because we haven't had him on any White House schedule for just a couple of days over the course of the summer when it's quite frankly a very slow news time as it is. And then I remembered looking back to our old friend Joe Biden, who was always gone. I mean, he took more vacation days than any president in history by far. And weirdly, we never questioned if he was dead, but Trump just decides to have a day or two that are more quiet than normal. And we suddenly think that something crazy has happened. So
wasn't he seen golfing?
Well, that's how we knew he was alive, because they were like, oh, he's golfing. He's alive. Okay.
It was so crazy. I found out because I woke up in a daze. I was still 7 hours ahead in time zone. And one of my best friends who was gay, he doesn't like when I say my gay best friend because it's tokenizing him. But my gay best friend
was the one that I met.
Did you meet him?
I can't remember. Remember we went to Valentine's Day together?
Oh, that's right. No, that's a different gay friend.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I was like, when did you meet this friend? We can't name him because we can't out. You can't out someone who's out of the closet gay, but not out of the closet as a Republican in the gay scene in New York City.
Yeah.
But this friend was on Fire Island, actually hanging out with Douglas Murray. So he had one sane friend out there. But Fire Island, for anyone who doesn't know, is the gay Hamptons. It's just the gayest place on earth, I think. And he messaged me saying, is Trump dead? And I get this message and I'm thinking, this is the crazy. I'm like, I thought I was having a fever dream. It made no sense. And I'm looking on Twitter, I'm looking on Instagram. There's no information about this. And I wrote back saying, where the F are you getting this? And he said, everyone on Fire Island is talking about it. And that just goes to show you that we live in two completely different worlds, because it was in the blue sky echo chamber, right? It was over there somewhere where it wasn't even on. And then it seeped its way, it made its way to right-wing Twitter. But it took us some time because it just was
I think that was the funny part. That's to your point, is I didn't even know there were rumors of him being dead till he was realized to be fully alive. And I was like, oh, he was rumored to be dead. Okay, well, I'm going to go about my day. I'm going to continue living as Trump also is. And we'll put that one to bed. Have fun golfing, dear president.
Did you see, I think it was Peter Doocy who asked Trump because, Trump appeared to make some totally, I don't want to call it a banal announcement because they were talking about moving the Space Force HQ stuff from Colorado to Alabama, which is obviously a great move to move it from a blue state to a red state.
They are moving it.
Yeah, I know. So it's great. But the announcement seemed so trivial compared to the rumors. And Trump is just living his life. And in the middle of this press conference, I think it was Peter Doocy asked him, what did you think about the rumors that you were dead?
How did you find out over the weekend that you were dead?
And you could see Trump saying, what do you mean rumors that I was dead? Because that we live in these pockets of reality where Trump, if it's not on the 7 or 8 p.m. Fox News, or whatever later, the man stays up pretty late. So if it's not on Fox News at night, he doesn't know it exists. Yeah. And most of us didn't even know this existed again because this was on Twitter, blue sky, universe. It was just in a totally different world. So it's pretty sick wishful thinking. And maybe they've just gotten used to the fact that we actually see our president every day.
I have never, ever, for 1 minute, I can proudly say I've never logged on to Blue Sky. What is it like over there? Do you know? Can you
I don't know.
back?
I think it's ghetto. I will not be logging on to Blue Sky.
You've never logged on for 1 minute to even just see what's up?
I don't go to sketchy places. I'm not
It's
going to
smart.
Blue
It's
Sky.
smart. It's smart. You want
Yeah.
to live. That's why.
I
You
I
want
want
to
to
keep your
enjoy
life.
I
You
don't
want
need
to
to
keep
go
your
into
life.
a mental asylum. It's like an insane asylum on the internet is what Blue Sky is. I don't need to see that. Because imagine being on Blue Sky where they legitimately thought Trump was dead, and then there was this. I don't even want to get into. Honestly, I don't even want to get into the video of like the window and the White House and stuff going out of it. It's not clear if it's
Wait,
even real.
speaking of the White House, can we talk about the sick ballroom that Trump is paying for with his own money? Like,
With his own money.
what if that is such a flex? Like, I'm just gonna throw this in here, and people are like, "What? That's such a waste of taxpayer dollars." Hold up, don't worry about it. Daddy Trump's got you covered. I'm paying for this one.
No, it's like Zaddy Trump. It's so iconic.
Like-
Also, I mean, the Rose Garden already looks so much better. And the left, they just want to have things to complain about because that's everything they do. It's like Rob Henderson's idea of luxury beliefs, right? Like the better your life, the dumber the things you complain about, which is why we have pronouns that make no sense and like bathroom, like who's going to what bathroom. It all stems from luxury beliefs. So like everything's so good. People are complaining about the Rose Garden. As someone who has attended events at the White House, the Rose Garden was impossible for women. People would warn you, don't wear heels. You'll be sinking into the ground. It's dirty. You're wearing these nice clothes, but you're outside in this grass.
Yeah.
It made no sense. And you know what? Mar-a-Lago is a vibe. And now the Rose patio, the Rose Garden looks just like the patio at Mar-a-Lago. It just looks nice. It's practical. I like the yellow umbrellas they did. And yeah, the ballroom, like we are the United States of America. We should have a nice ballroom for hosting events. And Trump is paying for it himself. It reminds me, do you remember the days when I think you were I don't know if you were in New York. Maybe you were in your news anchor days when you had to wake up at like 3 a.m. But when Mike Bloomberg was mayor of New York City, the amazing thing about having a billionaire who's in charge of things is when they want to do something and they know they can't do it with public funds, like Bloomberg would just pay for it himself. He's like, I want this program, and he would just fund it himself.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope to one day, Arynne, be in the position where I can be like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it myself. I don't really care. I'm kind of over commercial flights, like all of the nonsense that goes on, like the delays, the waits, the drives to JFK. I'm just gonna get a private plane. Don't worry about it. Like I hope like everything at one point in life becomes that easy for me, where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
But Trump is literally adding to the White House, which is like with his own money.
But
So
also
good.
the side-by-side pictures of Biden's White House versus Trump's, just like even little like nooks and crannies, so ridiculously different. Like the ornateness of Trump being in the White House is just, I mean, the elevation is crazy.
Oh,
Crazy.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, did you see there were headlines about Melania possibly being on the cover of Vogue, which she
and there was such
obviously
an uproar.
deserves. Yes. And you have all these Vogue staffers threatening to leave.
We are going to strike. We're done. It's like, okay, bye. And then I didn't know, wait, but the best part was when she came back, she was like, oh no, like their offer wasn't even something I was entertaining. Like, it wasn't, she didn't even give any credence to these magazine workers who might have, gone on strike or quit their jobs if she were to have been on the cover. I mean, she was like, no, I wasn't even entertaining being on the cover because what they presented to me wasn't something that I was interested in. And I'm like, another flex from the Trump family. It's just like, don't worry about
Melania is beyond. She's above
so
Vogue.
classy. She's so classy.
But also, how could she even trust them? How could she trust Vogue to even paint her in like a possible, like not the most evil light possible? Oh, sorry, Vanity Fair.
Yeah, I mean,
same thing.
Yes, a lot of this. Speaking of, guess who I saw? Speaking of Vogue, guess who I saw at the U.S. Open the other day? Anna Wintour.
Anna Wintour.
Yes, I saw her.
You want me a soda?
Yeah, no. So I saw Anna Wintour, and I was like, "Hello, Anna." I mean, that's one of the most fun parts about being at the Open. Speaking of my luxurious lifestyle that I hope to live one day.
Oh yeah.
It's just fun to look around and see who's there. Like what I do is I take my iPhone and I like will zoom in, to as much as I possibly can go, and I just go around the stadium.
Times 8x. Next time we got to get you binoculars and just let
Oh
you get
yeah,
like
that'll look
like bird
that'll look
watching
really cool
binoculars.
and not sketchy at all.
Yeah.
They're like,
No,
who's the
no, that's
young
right.
woman using binoculars?
No, you just want to see exactly what's happening in the match and see if someone's stepping on the line or not, right?
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah. I want to be
for
the
people
line
who,
judge.
I don't know if people outside of New York realize that the US Open is like, it's like Ramadan in New York. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's
I'm making comparisons because Zoran Mamdani will soon be your mayor, so I'm trying to transition you into understanding your future culture.
what you need what you're going to need to
Yeah,
be
you're going to
more.
be celebrating Ramadan and straight people are going to be arrested soon. So I just thought you should get used to it. But no, it's like going to the US Open because it's kind of a schlep out in Queens, right? But like it's like the Hajj, the annual Hajj that New Yorkers make that really symbolizes the end of summer. That's the US Open.
It symbolizes the end of summer. It also is just like such an epic event. I mean, last night I was watching the men's quarterfinal match. It was Djokovic and Fritz, who Fritz was the like young American guy trying to take on this legendary tennis player and Novak Djokovic, and Djokovic pulled it off. But what an incredible match. Anyway, sorry, I just got off on a tangent. The tennis is great. The people watching is great. The fashion, Arynne, is great. And also, we are now learning the scandals are also great at the US Open, because I know you heard about that Polish millionaire CEO. This is the year of the CEO, we are realizing, because the CEOs are all about causing scandals, whether they mean to or not. But in this particular case, now this is a couple days old, but we have the latest development, which is he is now apologizing because this scumbag stole. There was one of the, this great tennis player who was handing out a couple of signed hats. He sees a kid. Obviously always athletes want to target their young fans because, this is like the new generation. Like they want to like support these young kids, say hello, thank you for being a fan. The tennis player goes to hand a signed hat to this little child, and this douchebag, old dude, who turned out to be a Polish CEO, a millionaire, snatches the hat from the little boy, stuffs it immediately into his bag, and basically first came out with the excuse of, oh, well, first come, first serve, like, you snooze, you lose type of mentality. And people were like, what the actual F? He was completely doxxed, found out to have been this millionaire guy, which makes it even worse. Like you could go buy a signed piece of paraphernalia if you really wanted to. Is that what it's called, paraphernalia?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that what it's called, paraphernalia? That sounds like a drug
Paraphernalia. Yeah.
Is it? Or no, it's memorabilia.
Paraphernalia is like if it's no, paraphernalia. I was like, I thought that was right.
Memorabilia.
No, I think that's right. No, it's like no, it is. Paraphernalia refers to a collection of items, equipment, or accessories used for a specific purpose, such as sports equipment or hobby supplies. So it's more for like the paraphernalia would be like if you had a lacrosse stick for lacrosse versus memorabilia to your point.
Okay, yes. Okay. Anyways, point is now the CEO, because he was getting so much heat from everybody, like all around the world, people, it was like the Coldplay CEO, right? Like this was Coldplay CEO 2.0, but like
I would argue this is worse.
Different scandal. Yes. Ooh, would you? Ooh, that is okay. Well, first of all, before we get to that, he has now said, I apologize. It was wrong of me. And everyone's like, you're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry that you've been doxxed. You're sorry that everyone hates you. But now let's get into that debate, because I think this is a good one. Which CEO scandal is worse? Coldplay CEO or US Open CEO?
I think US Open. I think it's worse. You don't mess with kids. You don't take away a kid's joy, and you have to act like an adult, because I'm obviously before people come after me for this, I am not saying it is acting like an adult to cheat on your spouse and get caught on a jumbotron that goes all around the world. That's not what I'm saying. But I don't want to say it's expected behavior either, but that is a part of the nasty part of life, which is like, that's someone's marriage. Those are adults dealing with adults. Okay. But this is a guy where, I'm sorry, if you're a grown man, you shouldn't be obsessed with memorabilia anyways. How old are you? It's just like, one of the videos that was juxtaposed with this, I will say, is if you remember a few months ago, there was a guy, like I think he looked like a teenager maybe, or like in his 20s, and he got, did you see, it was like a pitch. He got like a home run ball or something in baseball, and he got so excited, and he saw a young girl standing there as he walked back to his seat, and he just immediately tossed her the ball. Like it's the kind of action, it's the kind of act that you could see he didn't even think about. He didn't even think about it. He just did it instinctively, because you can't teach someone that kind of instinct. You're either a good person or a bad person. And so the same thing here with the US Open. The way he snatched the hat, it was so fast. It felt like a lizard sticking its tongue out to get a fly. Like, it was so immediate.
You know what? The crazy thing is he didn't even hesitate to put it in his bag. He also didn't even think for a second to realize he might have been caught on camera, which he was.
I was abroad sitting with a friend in another hemisphere, and they were laughing on their phone, and I asked, what's going on? And he said, some millionaire Polish guy stole a hat from a kid at a game, and it's become an international headline, and everyone in Poland is shaming him. Like, that's how far it got, that it transcended different cultures and different cultures of different hemispheres.
Do you think the Coldplay CEO got international renown fame or infame?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Infamy. Infamy.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys, it's early.
It's early. They don't know this, but we're shooting this quite early.
Infame was a word, okay?
It's okay. Guys, Charly does have other smart moments. Like, trust me. Trust me.
Maybe people are just watching the clips and they're not watching the whole episode. So that's what I'm going to hope for in that moment.
We can only hope.
But you know what? You're right. I think you're right. That is, to be able to treat a kid like that, and especially when you know how privileged you are, to be able to be like, I can go buy this myself. And then the tennis player was like, what the hell? And he was like, please, everybody help me find this little kid. He ended up getting, a hold of the kid and got him the signed hat anyways. But
I know I didn't express myself well, because as someone who thinks that adultery is one of the worst things you could possibly do, like truly if there's like murder and then adultery for me is like really pretty much right after that. I think that stealing from the kid was so much worse. I think that's the worst CEO. Also, because to your point, think about what happened after the Coldplay concert. That couple just like retreated. They tried to stay away from it. They were so clearly embarrassed. And the CEO doubled down. What? What's your face of shock?
There is another CEO scandal of 2025 that I was not aware of. So the Nestle CEO also was embroiled in a scandal. He was dismissed over Labor Day weekend after an internal investigation confirmed an undisclosed romantic relationship with a direct subordinate. Damn.
Oh my gosh.
This is the year of the CEO scandal.
It's the year of the CEO scandal, and we still have a few months left.
We still have a few months left, yeah.
If you're a CEO, you should be terrified.
Watch your back.
You should give money to every homeless person you see, because I bet you one of them will be a reporter waiting to dox you for not giving money to a homeless person. Like, that's where we are. You got to be careful. Like, when you're anywhere you go, people are watching. Wow.
Now, do you have to be careful, Arynne, about your fashion choices that you make from this point forward? Now that Labor Day has passed.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
Wait, did we just simultaneously scratch our? We did. We at the exact same time we just scratched our heads. Anyways, listen. Let me.
We're so
rephrase.
connected.
We're so connected. Okay, Labor Day has come and go. There is the age-old debate: can you wear white after Labor Day? And we need to get to the bottom of this.
That's right. So I sent Charly an article over the weekend about this, because I live in Florida. And this was a huge adjustment for me coming from the Northeast. I was raised in a place where wearing white after Labor Day was one of the biggest faux pas you could ever make. It was seen as so incredibly tacky that it actually took me time living in Florida, where it's sunny and warm all year round.
And you're tan all year round. Let's also make that note.
And you're tan all year round, so you look good in white. And we're not talking about winter white, which is a different topic that we're not going to get into. So I looked into this to see where does this even come from? Where did the fashion overlords decide this? And it's not so surprising. It actually comes from from class ruling, from like a class distinction. So it seems like wealthy elites back in like the early 1900s, we're talking Gilded Age, especially in the Northeast, that they wanted to separate themselves from like the new money crowd. And so they would wear white during the summer months because they'd go away. Like they'd obviously leave the cities, get out of the heat, and go to the countryside. And so wearing white was a sign of leisure, And it also implied sort of the way it used to be, in old paintings where people are pale and it showed like, you're not working outside in the heat. And so you actually have very pale skin. So wearing white also implied that you didn't have to work in like a dirty industrial environment. And so banning white after Labor Day was, to reinforce this idea that only the wealthy upper crust get to wear white, and they do it in the countryside. And so wearing white after Labor Day also would show that you're not in it. You don't get it because you don't know that you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day.
Well, I have some points that I would like to make now that we have progressed in society, in the world of fashion, and in the world of living much more healthy lifestyles. The Maha way is the way. And we all know to be healthy, you must get adequate levels of vitamin D, which means you must be in the sun for at least a small portion of the day, which means you should be able to keep your tan for a little bit longer, which means, Arynne, white still looks good on you, which means I'll be wearing white. Until this tan fades, I will be wearing white because I look damn good in white. I think you probably too. I think everybody, unless you're pale, looks pretty good in white. So I don't know. Do we break it down?
But Charly, you're kind of proving the point. Being able to wear white after Labor Day, especially if you're in the Northeast, is now still an indication of class. Because if you have time and money to go on vacation and get that tan, if you're working and you're in the Northeast, you're out in, or Midwest, you're in one of these states where it's just winter and you can't get away to get sun, you're not wearing white.
Or you're stuck in a cubicle all day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right, actually. So really, it's almost like it's flipped. Where now the idea of being affluent means you are outside enjoying yourself. I mean, whereas before it was like you're only outside to work per se. Now it's you're at the US Open. Maybe you're doing a quick little jaunt over to, I don't know, where could we go at this point in the year? I mean, people are still going to Greece. People are still making little trips to Italy early September.
St. Bart's or Florida. By the way, it's funny because when I say this, there's a lot of low-class people in Florida for anyone who's unfamiliar with the Florida man, okay? There's plenty of low-class people who are able to wear white in Florida, but I do think wearing white after Labor Day, when you're in the Northeast, when you're in the Midwest, is still certainly an indication of class. So can you wear white after Labor Day?
Yes.
I think the answer is yes.
Yes.
Especially those winter whites. Get those winter whites, girlies, and just get a white that looks good with your skin color.
Right. Well, and there's also like different you don't have to wear white like up top where like maybe it washes you out. You could still wear your white pants. Also, like men, what man out there does not love a woman in some white pants?
Yeah, but in winter, they don't make white pants for winter. They're too thin. It's chilly. You can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be packing my white pants when I'm coming up to New York.
Then don't.
We want to be supportive of our girlies. So we're saying yes, wear white, but I won't be doing it.
Well, maybe I will. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell.
I'd love to know what people think. I want to know if you think that we can wear white after Labor Day, if you're not in a warm place.
Okay, well, weigh in, everybody. Weigh in. Can you wear white after Labor Day? Is it culturally acceptable? Is it a fashion faux pas? Drop your thoughts.
Speaking about after Labor Day, we're going back to school. By the way, can't wait for all the political nonsense that's about to happen because this was a quiet summer. I think people were really tired because last summer we didn't get much of a break. We were in the middle of the election. Trump had just been, think about this time last year, Trump had been shot. We were heading into the election. It was such a different time, like a different world. And I think everyone needed to chill the F out, especially in August with the kids home from school for so many people. But now kids are going back to school. I saw the funniest video that seems so obvious. Also because I did go to business school undergrad and I saw this myself. This girl posted a video. I saw it on Instagram talking about how her accounting class started with all these liberals in it because, college, everyone's a liberal. And then by the end of the course, almost the entire class was Republican.
I'm not even joking. This one single class single-handedly turned multiple formerly liberal students Republican.
Well, I think it makes sense. One, being in accounting, you're very, very aware of money, how it's being spent, what it needs to be allocated to. And if you do kind of like mash up politics into there and you start understanding what it means to, be conservative versus liberal in terms of dollars, in terms of what's in your bank account, it makes a little bit more sense to lean more right. And I think additionally, in most senses of the case, the older you get and the more wise and understanding you are, your values start to lean a little bit more conservative. Like, I think that actually is the trend across the board.
They say if you're young and you're not liberal, you don't have a heart. If you're older and you're not conservative, you don't have a brain. So, but I was conservative like from birth. So I guess I'm just a smart little bitch. I'm just a smart little bitch. But but I think it's like I was looking at this video thinking, I feel like every liberal arts major, when it's like gender studies, what is that? I'm a woman. There, I've learned gender. If you're doing like any of that nonsense, you should have these core requirements. I had requirements in school where you had to go through all these courses and it rounds you out and lets you see the rest of the world. And it should be a more meaningful part. Like, and what a lot of people do in college is they get away with it because you could fill that requirement by, with like a million different options. So you could just take a fluffy
the prerequisites
schedule. Yeah, but you could have a fluffy schedule for your entire time. We should have like real world requirements in these colleges, like taxes and accounting. And, it's.
To be honest, I look back on college and I loved college. I mean, I had such a fun time and I went to the most liberal campus in the United States, everybody,
That's right.
American University. That's not why I chose it clearly, but I look back, I had such an amazing time in college. You're like making all of these wonderful friends. You're getting to like be surrounded by your peers who are also, it's the same thing as high school, surrounded at the same stage in their lives as well. But now you don't have parents around. You can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. So I loved college. I had the best time. But I was thinking about it actually a couple weeks ago, I think, and I was like, really trying to discern if I learned anything worthwhile in college that I still use today. Other than, the Spanish language, I minored in Spanish and I do still use my Spanish here and there. I haven't kept up with it, so my fluency is not so great as it was. But other than that, you could take a Spanish course outside of college. You don't need to spend, $50,000 a year to learn Spanish. Like you could take, what's it called? Duolingo for like $100 a year.
I don't think Duolingo is the right, as someone who's learned a handful of languages and gotten very proficient in them, I personally don't agree with Duolingo's like strategy of how they teach you because they just teach you the most random sentences and that's it.
And the most
like,
random
no
vocabulary. And you're like, why would I ever use town square? Like, why is town square? I was learning Russian for a very short period of time, and town square was one of the first words that I learned. And the person that I was learning Russian for, which was an ex, I like told him the words that I learned. He's like, huh?
Well, of course, the town square where you're not allowed to speak, you just have to like salute Stalin.
But I really even for my major, I didn't learn that much in college. So to your point, it is like for a lot of people just like complete fluff. And they're just there. It's a performative act to say I have a college degree and to like for some people cause some mayhem. Like I was reading something on X the other day and it was like, imagine the students that choose this year to attend Columbia University.
I
Like,
saw that.
they must be like a little cuckoo because
A
to have
lot
witnessed,
cuckoo.
yes, a lot. I'm trying to be nice here, okay? I'm trying to start the day off on a decently
They're probably
positive note.
majoring in underwater hijab weaving, okay?
I
Like,
mean,
what else are you learning at Columbia
after
University
seeing
at this
what
point?
transpired on that campus last year and to say, you know what, I want to go to Columbia and I want to go there now, knowing all that I know about it. Yeah, you got to be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, but I feel sad for a lot of kids today where like they work so hard and they got to that age where it's, they did well in school and the institutions they were working towards are just like piles of crap now. Like, what's the point of going? They're just like jihadi training camps. Why would you go? And then, I think that's probably very like unmotivating. It's like very discouraging to young kids. Like I think I worked really hard when I was in middle school and high school and I was so excited to go to school, but goals have to change and we've seen this coming for a long time, and also college is just even more expensive than it was when we graduated. So everyone we should make accounting a required class, it seems, in every single university in the country, because maybe it'll make people more sane. Talking about the most insane people right now, Gavin Newsom. Did you see? First of all, he's been working this summer while people were on vacation. Gavin Newsom has been hustling. And something that really bothers me on the right is how we just dismiss people like Gavin and AOC, and we say like, oh, they're so silly and they're crazy and they've had these disastrous policies under them. People have goldfish memories and they only remember what happened like 2 weeks ago. And Gavin's doing a pretty good job trolling people. So he actually has this merch store. Did you take a look at this?
I did.
It's crazy because I laughed. I thought it was funny. Like you have to call a spade a spade. But it's also obviously so offensive. But you could see how someone on the left thinks it's funny. He has a fake sold out Bible. Like he made his store look like a Trump store. He has an image the way that people do of Trump as if he's Jesus with people around him praying, but it's Gavin. He has Gavin was right about everything, like a red MAGA hat, but it's about Gavin.
It says
this is smart.
Newsom was right about everything. Because remember, we had the Trump was right about everything. And apparently, within the first 24 hours of putting all of this merch on sale, he made $300,000. And that's impressive.
Yes. And we're talking again, summer months. No one's paying attention to politics. And he had a huge success with his website.
Yeah.
The right needs to wake up because this is terrifying.
And also just the way, it's he's playing off of everything that Trump has said and did. And, the bold statements, like Trump was right about everything. Newsom was right about everything. And then even the way that then he's going on X, for example, or Instagram to then brag about his merch. He's speaking very Trump-like. Like many people are saying this is the greatest merchandise ever made. Please enjoy America with the American flag emojis. It's smart, to your point.
He's trolling the way Trump usually trolls. And I think it's kind of it's not working on me because you can't bamboozle me into forgetting who Gavin Newsom is. But that's not true for most people. Most people think this is kind of funny. This is fun. He's creating the fun trolling environment that Trump created. So I will not be getting any of this merch, obviously, but I think we should be paying close attention. Did you see? I posted this on my...
And apparently his spokeswoman said the merch is flying. Dems are fired up. We're just getting started. If Trump keeps handing us material, we'll keep punching back with it.
Yeah. It's really smart. It's really smart. And meanwhile, Republicans are just infighting, or also, obviously the administration, they're focused on just getting stuff done. But I can't think of anyone on the right who's standing out.
This is so funny. There's a t-shirt. It's AI, of course, but it's Gavin Newsom praying with Tucker Carlson.
Yes.
Kid Rock in the ghost of Hulk Hogan.
See, it's just funny. It's just funny. You have to admit it.
It is funny. I love that.
It's funny. Honestly, Like, I would almost wear that shirt. Don't come after me. It's just because it's funny.
It is funny.
But I would wear it, but that's the slippery slope. I would wear it as like a hate wear. Like, I would never give him my money. But if someone gave me that shirt, like, I'd probably wear it because it's hilarious. And then like that hilarity is actually what makes it normal, right?
Yeah.
So that's terrifying. I think that's really funny. He's being funnier than we are right now.
Also kind of funny was you've been doing a deep dive into crime this past week, and you're discovering that crime is actually taking place outside of Earth.
Out of Earth, yeah, an extraterrestrial crime. Welcome to our crime corner, where I saw this headline. Let me read this to you. I actually
like that. Can we start doing a crime corner where we do like a bizarre crime of the week?
A really weird crime. That could be very fun. I mean, we would never have to leave the state of Florida for that. We could just search whatever is happening in Florida, and we'd always have fuel for fodder. But okay, it is an old headline, so apparently this happened. This came out years ago, but it resurfaced on social media, and I did not know about this. So it says NASA has investigated what may be the first crime in outer space, with astronaut Anne McClain accused of identity theft and improperly accessing her estranged wife's private financial records while on the International Space Station. So what this means, if true, is that lesbians are responsible for 100% of all space crime.
Oh my gosh. Well,
so I want to know why it is that by being on the ISS, you have access to people's financial records on Earth. That's my first question.
I have no idea. I didn't realize. And I also guess they have a lot more free time than we would suspect that they do. Like, maybe we should just shorten their missions if they have all of this time to just sit up there and access people's private financial records and, whatnot. Interesting. I wonder what the estranged wife had to say. Like,
that's a good question. But like, I must know, NASA, what computer is on the ISS that you could see someone's financial information by going. By the way, now if people know this, how many crazy exes are going to try to become astronauts to go to space to access their ex's records? I mean, we both know my ex stalks me all the time. We know this. We have exes. When you think that we know, I bet he's probably watching this right now. If like when you think that ex isn't watching it, no, they are. They're stalking you to the point that they're going to outer space to access your financial records. They never stop.
I mean, that's some dedication. It is some dedication.
Honestly, like,
to
I
the
have to
stalking
respect
game.
it.
Yeah,
I have to respect this one
to
a
go
little
all the
bit.
way to outer space to try to find out more information.
To access a computer on the International Space Station.
That is great.
I'm left, Charlie, I'm left with more questions than answers from this headline.
Well, I just, now that we know that a crime has occurred in space, I'm ready to see who commits crime number 2. I'm ready. I'm waiting. I want to see how crazy it can get.
We have to make sure it's a lesbian.
Well, otherwise,
send the lesbians to space.
Otherwise, they won't hold 100% of the crime.
It's an important
responsibility.
Statistic.
It is.
Yeah.
Very
it's a
important.
heritage. We should respect tradition. And speaking of tradition, last thing, we're going to wrap up here, but we're not going to get into every headline that happened over the summer, but I do feel like, especially in the month of August, there were so many headlines about crime, immigration in Europe, especially the UK. A crazy headline from over the weekend was this guy, Graham, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. If it's like Linehan. Graham Linehan was arrested for tweets. He had a number of tweets. Some of them were, someone call it anti-immigration. I don't think that's accurate. He's against the takeover of the UK from third world countries. And he made a number of comments on trans people, the same kind of comments that I make. These are tweets he made when he was outside of the UK. He landed in Heathrow and officers arrested him there. And I looked at this and I thought, I almost went to London to see some friends on my way to the rest of my travels. And I decided not to, timing just happened to not work out. And I went to Rome instead. But I asked myself, could I be arrested for I tweet stuff all the time. about these exact issues.
It's a good question. I don't know, because you're American. Would it be different what you say?
It's scary.
Or could it be if you're still an American in London or in England, that you still are subject to their beliefs and, what they deem to be hate speech?
Weren't there headlines a while ago? They said like Elon shouldn't go because of similar,
No, I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, there were real questions. I think they were smart enough to never arrest J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, for anyone who doesn't know, the greatest series of all time. But like they're smart enough not to. Side note, because in case you wanted to see, I was so cool in high school. I think it's the greatest series of all time. But they were smart enough not to arrest her with all her commentary, because I think that would just be that would be a really crazy outpour. But I mean, you go to London all the time with UFC, right? Like, this is not.
No, I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with London right now. There's a lot of things wrong. It's all this stuff ranging from what they consider to be hate speech and an arrestable offense. Also, people are getting arrested for carrying around the English flag. Like, people are getting targeted for being patriots of their own country. I mean,
yeah, I actually saw this post that people were spray painting the English flag on trash that they wanted picked up, because they knew it would be taken up off the street within 24 hours. If they put the English flag on something, they knew it would be taken to the trash.
I know, that's why it's insane. There's been a lot of problems with England for a long time. Things are getting worse and worse. The most prevalent Muslim country in the world now is England, which is, I mean, that says a lot, right?
The most prevalent Muslim country?
Yes,
is that really?
Is England, yes.
I mean, we know that like the number one baby name in most European countries for a long time has been Muhammad.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even count other versions of the spelling. Just like number one is one type of Muhammad, and there are often like numbers 3, 4, 5 are other spellings, right? So, well, that's horrifying. Everyone should have babies to counterbalance this. That should be.
Well,
I want
you
that to be my
baby,
parting lesson.
you can't name them Muhammad. What if you have a baby? Then you're just adding to.
I certainly would never name a baby Muhammad, FYI. Maybe, Charly, I think our greetings to close out the show, we should start practicing what you're going to have to say in New York, which is Salamu Alaikum.
Well, what was it that I tried to, inshallah.
Oh, yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, because we've discussed this on the show before, but if you're new here, I did take Arabic for a number of years in college, and I said, inshallah, to Charly on the phone, because that's how you say it. And Charly decided to correct me.
Wait, but then remember, I was with that person and I had them.
Yeah, but I knew you weren't with an Arabic speaker, because Charly said, I'm with someone, and he says it is inshallah. And I asked, are they Persian? Because that's Farsi. And that was, in fact, the case. So, but Zoran Mamdani is not Persian. Persian culture is actually really elevated and beautiful and awesome. And it should be restored in Iran at some, hopefully in the near future, because the world would be a better place with like an actual great Persian, I don't want to say empire, but a great Persian country would be good for the world. But no, for everyone to prepare to going to New York, Salamu Alaikum. Charly, you could say back, Wa alaikum assalam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
There we go. Great. And we will continue our Arabic lessons as we approach the mayoral race
Everybody,
of New York
tune
City.
in next week for more vocab.
Bye. We'll see you next week.
Bye.